Hey, it's Drybear. Season 1 for Dragonflight is almost here, and there's a new system that you need to be aware of if you're going to make maximum use of it when it starts next week, and that is the Primal Storms or Primal Elements events in the game itself. I'll go through all the details that you need to know about the event, what gear you can get from it, starting with easily obtainable 359 blue gear, and then you can take that 359 blue gear and turn it into purple 385 gear that will help you mix and match your drops from M+, from rare mobs, from dungeons, and from raids to keep yourself balanced out and a little bit of bad luck protection. Let's jump into Primal Storms. And of course, if you have any questions or comments for me, or you're confused on anything, drop by my live stream, twitch.tv/Drybear. I'm live every day. Come hang out. Now, you've probably heard of the Primal Storms. If you go into your appearances, you'll find the set listed in there. Right under the raid set is the Primal Element set with different versions, and it is the crafted version as well. These Primal Element sets are available to view in-game, but you can't get the currency that you need to unlock them until December 12th rolls around, which is the start of Season 1. So inside of the Seat of the Aspects, the quote-unquote main city in Dragonflight that people use the most in Valdrakken, right here on the top left side, you see this little junction point next in between the Sapphire Enclave and the Obsidian Enclave is this little building here. When you come up on this and then go inside, there will be two different vendors called the Primal Researchers, the Apprentice and the Lead. These vendors already exist in game and you can go look at them right now. And so when you open these up, you can see this is the Primal Elements blue set that you can pick up and put on, and it will give you eye level 359 gear for your class. You can pick and choose what pieces you need, and if you're a transmog hunter, you can just go around getting elemental overflow and buying these. And what's cool is it does include a mount at the very end of it for 2,000 and a pet as well. I would recommend getting these, 2 pets actually, because they're quite cool, and this is a very easy event to get these. So these are great for gearing characters up. It's slightly higher than you doing random heroic dungeons. And so for someone like me, I'm working on my 5th 70 character, and I probably will eventually get all of them to 70 relatively quickly. Having an event like this so I can pump them right up to 359 right away with the elemental overflow you get from the event is huge. And what's cool, again, if you're a transmog hunter and you're looking for the sets, the blue and the purple look the same. So it's the same transmog, the same everything. So if you just want the look of this for each armor type, you can just farm the really easy to get blue armor and be done with that as well. So you'll want to get these because they are required as an item, as a piece ingredient for the purple pieces, which are over here. These are 385 Primal Infused, and they're just underneath the first boss drop of normal raid. And so what I would recommend doing with these, since these are going to be slower to get, is I would clear your raid the first week, get your M+s done, get some progression done, and then slot these in as you will be able to fill what you didn't get that dropped. The reason being is that these are a lot slower to get. So look at the resources here. The first is it's going to require the blue version of this item. It's just Primal Infused, it becomes purple. So you need the blue version, and then you need anywhere from 5 to 10 storm sigils. So let's talk about how you get the elemental overflow and how you get these blue pieces, and then we'll talk about how you can turn those into the purple pieces as well. If you played in the pre-patch event, there were these events in Eastern Kingdoms down in the Badlands, and then over in Kalimdor you had Barons and then Ungoro. But these invasions, which are just like Legion invasions, PvP invasions, in the last few expansions, we've always had these kind of invasions, but these will pop up instead of being in Azeroth on the main continents. It'll show up on the Dragon Isles. So in these 4 zones, Onaran Plains, Waking Shores, Thaldraszus, and Azure Span, for 2 hours, a invasion will start, and it will have a specific element. It's just like the pre-patch event in that it can be earth, air, fire, or water / ice. And then it'll pop up and it'll last 2 hours. And then the cooldown on that is currently set to be 6 hours, at least it was in the beta. So you'll have a gap between them, and you'll want to try and do them if you are available to do them. Just kind of plan your play time around it. If you're going to be there, just make sure you're there to do it. and then you'll just have this invasion that'll occur in these zones, and it'll be in a specific spot, and mobs will spawn. You can solo it. It's kind of similar to the pre-patch event. It's just, I would recommend being in a group, and hopefully on the initial launch of the event, when season 1 starts, there's gonna be plenty of people flooding into these invasions and killing the mobs. So just make sure you're tagging things, do as much damage as you can, but it's preferable to go with a group, but you can solo it. It's just gonna be a lot slower. And there will be elites and random spawns inside of that. But as you kill mobs inside these invasions, they will drop the base resource, Elemental Overflow. It's that easy. So during the week, you can just farm this. I don't think there's actually a limit right now on how much of this you can get. In the pre-patch event, the resource was tradable. In this, it looks like it's an actual currency, but we'll see how that actually turns out. I'm wondering if they're gonna make some changes right before they ship it live. But all you have to do is go to these invasions and kill the mobs to get the Elemental Overflow. There will be elites and kind of boss mobs that spawn. Those mobs that spawn will drop storm sigils, which are gonna be these things right here. So you'll be able to get a maximum of, I think, 4 of these a week, 1 of each element. You can see already there's a problem, right? Because you need 5 to 10 to get a single piece. So it does take a while to convert these over. So you wanna make sure you're getting your storm sigils every week. You can come here if you wanna know. You can only get 1 of each element. So if you haven't gotten 1, you can check your status. You can ask whether you've turned in air, water, fire, or earth. That way, if you did it on Tuesday and then Saturday you forget which element you did, you can go back and remember. And that way, if you already turned in a fire core this week, and then you see that there's a fire invasion somewhere, you know you're not going to get a storm sigil. So that's why I would say wait on getting these 385s, because you need to turn the storm sigils in to get these and then convert them to get 385. So it is a rather slow but consistent way to get 385 gear, which again is 4 eye levels lower than just normal, right? So if you did normal, it's like 389 for the first boss on normal for the raid. So you're getting pretty close to normal difficulty raid gear just by doing the open world events. And then same thing goes for rares. They can be 386. So you can get to 385, 386 just by doing open world activities without ever entering a dungeon or going into a raid, which is pretty atypical for World of Warcraft. So you don't want to miss this. If you're someone like me that plays a lot of characters, very easy to gear them out with this system. Just make sure you do the events when they pop up. And then if you're a transmog collector like me, you'll want to go through and get all these, but you just need to get the blue ones. Then make sure that every weekly reset, you are getting 1 of the storm sigils per element and turning them in to this vendor here so that you can be done with it and you can start building up that gear. And again, when it comes to season 1 start, I would do all of their activities first. Make sure you get all 4 of your storm sigils, wait for reset, do it again. And then when you have most of your drops and everything's complete, you may realize, okay, I got decent drops this week, but I really need shoulders. And that's where I would go and start getting these Primal infused. And again, if you have alts, super easy way to just do the invasions when they show up, build up that gear with very little time investment, and then slowly build up gear on them for that. So that's the Primal Storms, Primal Elements. You don't want to miss this. It's super cool. It's super straightforward. It's super easy. It's nice for people that don't have limited schedules, that there's more open world and non-instance content that you can do in-game to gear your character out to prepare for PvE activities and even bring into PvP as well. So there you go. Again, if you have any questions for me or you're wondering how this works, you want to talk with me live, I'm live every day on twitch.tv/Drybear. Come hang out, and otherwise, good luck. Hope you get good drops. See you around. If you enjoyed yourself today, leave a like down below. You can support me and my work on Patreon and view Patreon exclusive content, link in the description. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.